Well, hi, happy August. Welcome back. I am happy to tell you about what I have been working on, and I'm thrilled that you're spending some of your day with me. Probably the most exciting thing is what I'm wearing. It is my finished last word. I think that's the name of the pattern. It is a pattern by Thea Coleman, BabyCocktails, that I finished. I think, honestly, I finished it. I may have even finished it before the end of July. I will be honest. I sneezed really hard like 3 weeks ago and blew the blood vessels in my right eye. My jazzercise left my right eye, and so for about 2 weeks it looked like I had been bit by a zombie. And I figured that that might not be super fun to look at. Um, So it kept me away, but I do hope that your July has gone as extraordinarily well. I August is August is a big month around here, with lots of anniversaries. The anniversary of my mom passing is later this month, and it will have been a year, and that is um, bittersweet. I still end up holding a lot of gratitude for the time that I was able to spend with her. But I am really here today to talk about what I've been kind of working on because I have been knitting. I also subscribe to the PBS Passport as a way to donate to PBS since their funding is non existent from the federal government anymore. Um, so I have been watching. I was a little ignorant around what all the fabulous programming that is available that now unfortunately may be at risk of no longer being available. But I've been watching the Lucy Worsley investigates mysteries of like Great British mysteries. So it's been really enjoyable to kind of knit and watch. So if you are looking for a way to support NPR public broadcast, consider the passport program because it's been great. I've really enjoyed it. I'm someone who really enjoys history and grew up on Sesame Street, so um, give it a check if you are looking for a way. Beyond that, we are in the midst of a glorious reprieve from the unbearable heat wave that is common this time of year. As I podcast, it is overcast. And I don't even think that it's going to get above 80 degrees, which is just a delight here for South Carolina. Normally, this is the time of year that is just about unbearable with the heat. And then for me, when I teach in an older building that doesn't have dehumidifiers. So when you walk in to teach, the humidity, as I often say, the humidity is the equivalent of trying to work out in like full sweatpants and sweatshirt and a weighted vest all at once. It's wonderful for your cardiovascular conditioning, but my gosh, it sucks really bad when you're in the midst of it. And I have had lots of days where it has felt like that. So this break in the weather has been just a delight. So think that those are the things that I wanted to catch you guys up on. I'm doing well. I'm coaching. I'm kind of getting back into seeing a small handful of people for consulting, in addition to what I get to do full time, which is super cool. I'm excited about that. And let me show you what I've been knitting. I'm getting ready for, I think, the Pigskin Party Kickoff is a knit along that is hosted by Jen of the Downseller podcast, Downseller Studio podcast. And I think that that will be formally kicking off in September. So I've got some ideas around that. But in the meantime, I did end up, in fact, let me go get it. I'm going to pause this right here and go grab. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I ended up crocheting a potholder. I have seen these, and I think if you've ever gone to like a church craft fair, you have seen these maybe for sale at like a church bazaar, and they are like the double layered, magical, wonderful crocheted potholders. And I have wanted to figure out how to do this. I was going through some of my grandmother's stuff, and I found one And I actually found it was my mom's stuff. And the only thing that needed to be done was the seaming in the middle of it. And so I did that. We use the air fryer a lot in my house, especially because I'm in a tiny house and it can get really, really warm. But I have set most of our pot holders on top of that. And the other adult in this house, my husband, informs me that our pot holders are starting to not smell awesome. So I was like, okay, I will buy new ones, but before I buy them, please let me attempt to at least make one. So that's what I did. I had a cone of dishcloth cotton, probably peaches and cream, that probably I got from my grandmother King's stash in 2012. And I sat down and watched a couple of YouTube videos and ended up crocheting this. So this is surprisingly easy. You just basically crochet in the round until you have an envelope, and then you push the ends in and seam it. So this made me feel super clever. Like, one of the things that gives me like middle age, midlife joy was crocheting a pot holder. I also did manage to cast on the Boxy Cancun top. I am using Cascade Sunseeker yarn that I think Amanda commented on the last episode I did. I got in 2018. It is a beautiful teal with sparkle in it. And I was pretty confident that I was going to run out because I like larger garments. So I did find also dishcloth cotton, like heritage dishcloth cotton that I can use that is close enough to be almost matchy-matchy. But I have not, I'm at the point where it is a free pattern. I think it's in my project page notes. In Ravelry, I have started the back side of it. So you knit it flat and then pick it up and then pick it up in the round. So this is the first part of it, because I mean, really, it's because I'm challenged a little bit in the construction. It's going to sit and drop down, and then when I get the back side long enough, I'll join it in the round, and just basically the drape and picking up in the round will create the magic that is the sleeves for this. Which I could not for the life of me figure out how this was going to work. I mean, clearly you can see that this is going to be like one of those flash dance, drop, show my shoulder kind of things here. But I will share on my Ravelry page all the information. Like, there's some math involved. I may end up kind of seaming this a little bit, because that's a lot of shoulder. I still try to, like I said, with the sizing of garments, I think I maybe underestimated the ease and stretch that happens with cotton yarn, because quite as I hold this out to y'all, what's so clear to me is this could really like fall off of my shoulders, and I'm all for bringing back the flash dance look because it is fire, but it may be a little too, like, it might not just drop down off of my shoulder. It might just drop down where it looks like almost like I'm running around with a sash kind of thing, like that. And some people might be able to pull that look off, but I'm not sure that I'm those kinds of people. So I might need to make an adjustment for that. And then the other thing that I cast it on, I know that, oh my goodness, I can see Paper Daisy is probably going to have her Mystery Knit Along come out pretty soon. I saw on the Miss Babs newsletter that that's going to be kind of coming out. I will probably do that. Hopefully I'll be able to pull yarn from my stash. I did that Mystery Knit Along last year and really enjoyed it. I am knitting the Hiss and Vinegar Mystery Knit Along by Casapinka. I'm way behind. I started it on a whim. I had this yarn that I had picked up in a D-stash from someone who I saw was, you know, getting rid of really beautiful stashes of yarn, and I saw it and ended up purchasing it. So it is Olan, which I think is an Irish brand. Yeah, hand dyed in Ireland. Olan. Sock weight, and they're singles, and it's probably 2-ply. So 2 singles and 1 2-ply. So these are the colors that I am knitting with. And I have been knitting when I've had the brain space. So you're going to see this has got all 3 colors in it, and it looks a little cattywampus, but knit on the bias, and this is what it looks like so far. It looks like a bunch of yarn spaghetti, I get it. But that is what I have been spending my time knitting on. So it's really nice to be able to knit again and to have the interest and the desire to do that, and the peace of mind and the ability to focus, because I think I forget that there's a peace that comes with being able to sit down and create, either through knitting or writing or journaling or gardening. And as I kind of get back into podcasting, the name of the game for me is cultivating as much joy as possible in ways that make the most sense to me. And if you've been hanging out with me for any amount of time, I'm not interested in fancy pants complexities these days. I'm interested in easy and simple and straightforward paths to joy. So this has been what has been it. But I did want to kind of pop in and give you guys an update for August. Other things that I can tell you that are bringing me joy. Still the birds, still the bird feeders. I'm probably going to go this weekend and get a goldfinch feeder. I have figured out that certain types of bird feeders capture water, and that ends up rotting the seed. That's been not fun. So I've been able to kind of replace those and be able to see goldfinches. I have got zinnias that have kind of gone wild. Y'all saw them at the last episode. And the most coolest thing happened last week. I was here minding my business, and a goldfinch flew and landed on the zinnia and was like eating it. I'll try to put a picture in. But it was beautiful. The contrast of like this beautiful yellow bird hanging out with a hot pink flower just made me really, really happy. I think that's it, friends. I just wanted to pop in. I hope that wherever you are, you're safe, you're healthy, you're happy, you're content, and you are more than welcome to share with me how you are finding joy in the midlife. Take care, y'all. I'll see you. Bye. Hi, friends. I wanted to come in and just add a little bit to my August video. Thank you for your patience, because clearly I'm a little rusty in podcasting again. And I think the other thing that I've been kind of quietly struggling with is that there are so many different ways to consume media. And I am transparency and being authentic matters to me. So I wanted to kind of pop in and just kind of tell you a little bit more about like how my month has gone. And to say, life is sometimes messy, and everything is as well here, but the anniversary of my mom passing away is in the next couple days. And I've spent probably the last year almost in like this surreal place. I think that there are blessings, and I still sit predominantly in gratitude. My mom had an illness, and her quality of life was really struggling, and she was like ready to go. But I still feel so young to be without a parent. And I guess that's kind of the both and. I think a lot of this last year has been and the both and the and. And the both and the and I think of midlife for a lot of people right now is that perhaps, you're in the midst of getting kids back to school or dropping kids off to college and experiencing empty nesting and taking care of a parent or trying to figure out what retirement looks like in the midst of knowing that you've got a parent who is headstrong and not not willing to sacrifice their independence, which I think is, certainly something that we struggle with. So I really just kind of wanted to kind of come in and say, um, this is the messy part of midlife and what it looks like. And the cool thing for me is that having gone through it, I can help people through it now, um, in ways that feel like maybe I'm helping people's paths be a little bit easier and a little less bumpy than the path that I had to go down myself. So I did want to share that little bit as an addendum, if you will, to the last episode. As we move forward, as I move forward, as I figure out what this life looks like and how to make meaning in the midst of no longer having parents on this side of heaven. So I did want to share that, um, and invite anyone who would want to connect about that to reach out if that's something that you think that I could help you with. I have joked, honestly, for a long, long time that I'm not an expert in anything, that on any given day, I would argue that I'm not even an expert on me or managing my emotions or anything like that. But I do think that we help each other. And I do think that, communities do really well when there's connectivity and support. And so I think that that's kind of what's driving my little add-on message here, that I think it's important to have support. And a lot of what I have been able to do this year, in managing all of the things that go through, all of the sometimes overwhelming checklists and everything that goes with trying to take care of someone's estate when they've passed away, to all the feelings and all the chaos beyond that, that I could not have made it through without connection and support. And a lot of my focus right now is really looking at how to stay in the present. And what you may have seen is that, like, I did 2 episodes pretty quickly, and I'm just much more quiet these days because I'm much more interested in what's going on internally inside of me. And sometimes that takes me a little bit to figure out. Sometimes I can be a little bit of a spaz and I like Muppet flail. But here lately, too, sometimes it takes me a minute to figure out what I'm thinking about, how I'm feeling about certain things. And there have been plenty of things going on, if you live in the United States, that can really be just, front row of a roaring dumpster fire. And I really am don't really try to hold too much attention for dumpster fires these days, if I can help it. If I can help it. So I did want to add that little piece here at the end. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my podcast. I'm so close to being done with my coaching certifications. I'll be done on Friday. And that is a exciting thing, because I think it's just a natural progression of a different way for me to help and support people in the work that I do and have done in the past. So thank you for hanging out, and I hope that your August has been truly splendid. All right, bye.